Welcome back to WoodsRock. Today we're taking a different kind of trip. We're not here for the power chords or the stadium anthems. We're here for the raw, the real, the heartbreaking. Today we're diving deep into the 12 saddest songs in classic rock history. I'm telling you right now, grab a box of tissues, because this is going to hurt in the most beautiful way. These songs aren't just melodies and lyrics. They are pieces of shattered hearts, desperate confessions whispered in the dark, and cries for help that have echoed for decades. Some of these songs, I swear, some of them will reach right through your chest and squeeze your soul until you can barely breathe. So, buckle up. We're about to feel everything. Let's kick things off with the one that absolutely destroys me every single time. The song that proves even rock gods can bleed. Tears in Heaven, Eric Clapton, 1992. This one goes beyond music. It's a father's grief laid bare.
Would you know my name?
After the tragic death of his 4-year-old son, Connor, who fell from a 53rd floor window, Clapton poured his unimaginable pain into this acoustic masterpiece. The gentle melody frames a devastating question. Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? Not just lyrics, but the desperate plea of a broken man longing to reconnect with his child.
I must be strong.
Few know that the song almost didn't exist. Clapton was so shattered after Connor's death that he couldn't write for months. Early drafts were even darker, including lines like, "Would you hold my hand if I saw you in heaven?" which he softened, fearing they would be too painful to perform. For years, he couldn't bear to play it live, only returning to the song after time had given him a fragile peace. And Clapton stopped playing it live in 2004. It wasn't because he'd healed, but because time had distanced him from the immediacy of the grief. As he said, "I didn't want to fake it." Its raw vulnerability, born from fresh grief, is what makes this song brutally honest and timeless. Without You, Badfinger, 1970. A heart-wrenching ballad about love's desperation, Without You carries an eerie, almost prophetic tragedy. Co-written by Pete Ham and Tom Evans, both would later die by suicide, making the line, "I can't live if living is without you," painfully chilling. The song's curse runs even deeper. After their manager stole the band's royalties, Evans spiraled into depression and eventually hanged himself in 1983. Years after screaming at Ham's widow, blaming her for Ham's 1975 suicide. Despite its dark origins, the song became a global hit multiple times, through Harry Nilsson and later Mariah Carey, yet Badfinger themselves died penniless. The raw, emotional delivery of Ham and Evans surpasses even the more famous covers, and the song's plea wasn't just about love, it was about survival, making it a haunting testament to both brilliance and despair. The Needle and the Damage Done, Neil Young, 1972. This is 3 minutes and 2 seconds of pure acoustic devastation. Recorded live in one take, Neil Young delivers an anguished plea about heroin's toll on the people he loved, most painfully, Crazy Horse's Danny Whitten.
Baby, can I have some more? Oh.
Neil recorded this months before Whitten overdosed, and here's the haunting detail. Whitten heard the song before he died. Young had fired him from the band for being too strung out to play, and as Whitten left the studio, Neil handed him $50 and a demo tape, which included this very song. Whitten died that night, the lyrics, "Every junkie's like a settin' sun," still in his ears. There's no fancy production, no overdubs, just Young, his guitar, and the crushing weight of watching friends disappear into addiction. Its raw simplicity makes the brutality of the message even more profound, and Young performed it at nearly every show for decades, turning it into a haunting reminder of rock's darkest chapter. Neil never forgave himself, and that guilt permeates every note.
Understand, milk, blood, to keep
All My Love, Led Zeppelin, 1979. Even the mighty Led Zeppelin couldn't rock away this kind of pain. Written after Robert Plant's 5-year-old son, Karak, died from a sudden illness, the song became his heartfelt elegy. A stunning departure from the band's hard rock sound, it's built on lush orchestral synths and one of Plant's most vulnerable vocal performances. When he sings, all my love to you now," you can feel him reaching across the unimaginable void between life and death. Behind the scenes, the track caused tension within the band. John Bonham and Jimmy Page felt it strayed too far from their signature style. John Bonham even refused to play drums on it, calling it too soft, so they brought in a session musician. During the In Through the Outdoor sessions, Bonham drunkenly mocked the song, even playing circus-style fills over the synth tracks. A year later, Bonham was dead, and the song became a double memorial, both for Plant's son and for the fallen drummer. Despite the behind-the-scenes drama, All My Love remains one of Led Zeppelin's most deeply human and poignant moments. Cats in the Cradle, Harry Chapin, 1974. This one hits differently as you get older.
My child arrived just the other day. He came to...
Based on a poem by Chapin's wife, who wrote it after watching him ignore their own son. It's the ultimate cautionary tale about the passage of time and missed connections.
And as he grew, he'd say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad.
At first, Harry hated the song, thinking it too obvious, until fans told him how it had shattered their relationships with their fathers. The father in the song is always too busy to play, only for the son to grow up and repeat the exact same tragic pattern. Chapin's folk rock storytelling makes every maybe tomorrow that never came feel like a personal loss. The closing line, "He'd grown up just like me, my boy was just like me," is a punch to the gut.
My son turned 10 just the other day. He said, thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's...
There's a final twist. Chapin's own son, Josh, didn't grow up like him. He became a teacher, rejecting his father's absentee legacy. The song's warning worked, but just not for Harry.
I'm gonna be like him. And the cats in the...
Poignant detail. Chapin, who died in a car crash in 1981, dedicated much of his life to charity, making the song's theme of valuing time even more bittersweet.
You know we'll have a good time, man.
Wish You Were Here, Pink Floyd, 1975. This isn't just a song, it's a conversation with a ghost.
So you think you can tell?
Written as a tribute to Syd Barrett, Pink Floyd's lost founder who had fallen into a deep mental illness, it mourns not only his physical absence, but the heartbreaking loss of his mind and presence. During the recording, Barrett, now overweight with shaved eyebrows, wandered into the studio. At first, no one recognized him. When they realized it was him, they continued recording, even secretly filming his vacant stares. David Gilmour later admitted, "We were exploiting him." Amidst this tragic backdrop, Gilmour's haunting guitar intro leads into Roger Waters' piercing lyric, "Did they get you to trade your heroes for ghosts?" A line that speaks directly to the cruelty of watching a friend lose themselves. The track's iconic radio static opening, born from the band's frustration with the music industry, adds another layer of existential sadness. It's a masterpiece of longing and grief, about losing someone who's still alive, and the guilt of witnessing it. Dust in the Wind, Kansas, 1977.
Will I close my eyes?
This is a 3.5-minute existential crisis set to music. Inspired by a Native American poem, Carrie Livgren wrote it after realizing that all human endeavors, our dreams, fears, and love, are ultimately fleeting.
Pass before my eyes a curiosity.
Interestingly, he originally wrote it as a joke, having just become a born-again Christian, scribbling the lyrics to mock life's meaninglessness. The simple classical guitar intro and soaring violin create a beautifully somber backdrop for the humbling line, "All we are is dust in the wind."
It's just a drop of water in an endless sea.
When the band heard it, they demanded he record it, despite Livgren's protests. He hated its nihilism, but Kansas overruled him. The song went multi-platinum, and Livgren eventually donated all his royalties to church charities. It's both terrifying and comforting, a meditation on life's impermanence that struck a deep chord in the late 70s, resonating with a generation navigating post-Vietnam disillusionment. Behind Blue Eyes, The Who, 1971. Pete Townshend wrote this as part of his abandoned Lifehouse project for the villain, a man programmed to feel rage.
Behind blue eyes, no one knows.
The song channels the loneliness of someone hiding their pain behind a stoic facade. Roger Daltrey gives voice to every misunderstood soul who ever felt like an outcast, starting with a quiet acoustic ballad of introspection that builds into an explosive, rage-filled outburst. Its iconic refrain, "No one knows what it's like to be the bad man," mirrors Townshend's own struggles with identity and isolation, and it's a raw confession about the desperate need to be truly seen.
Only lonely.
The song's most haunting performance came decades later, in 2002, at the Concert for New York City, after November 9th. Daltrey sang it to firefighters, and that line became a heartfelt salute to men who had seen hell. Townshend wept backstage, witnessing the power of his words in real life.
Like I do. And I blame you.
Angie, The Rolling Stones, 1973. Mick Jagger drops his signature swagger and delivers one of the most vulnerable performances of his career. While he swears the song is about Marianne Faithfull and Keith Richards insists it's for his daughter Angela, the hidden truth runs deeper. Angie was slang for heroin in Keith's circles. The heart-wrenching line, "Ain't it time we said goodbye?" was actually written by Richards in rehab, and Jagger sang it as a breakup ballad to mask the song's addiction subtext. Recorded during the band's tax exile period in France, the tender piano and Jagger's fragile vocals convey the pain of a love, or a habit, slowly slipping away. It remains one of the Stones' most emotionally raw and honest tracks, a masterclass in subtle storytelling behind rock's veneer of grit.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
The Sound of Silence, Simon and Garfunkel, 1964.
Because a vision softly creeping.
This song is more than a personal ache. It's a collective cry of a generation feeling lost and disconnected.
Vision that was planted in my brain.
Written in the aftermath of the Kennedy assassination, Paul Simon penned it in his bathroom, where the acoustics amplified the haunting melody. The opening line, "Hello darkness, my old friend," captures that feeling of absolute loneliness, talking into a void that no one can hear. The electric version wasn't just unauthorized. Simon called it a sacrilege. Yet here's the twist. The overdubs saved their careers. The original acoustic version bombed, and only when producers secretly added drums and electric instrumentation did it explode, eventually hitting #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Simon still refuses to play the electric version live, but its haunting resonance and cultural impact remain undeniable.
And in the naked light I saw
Yesterday, all my troubles.
Yesterday, The Beatles, 1965.
I need a place to hide away.
Paul McCartney famously dreamt this melody and woke up convinced it belonged to someone else. For months, he feared he'd stolen it, playing it for everyone and begging, "Is this someone else's song?" It's a simple, devastating, and universal ballad about realizing a love is gone and your world has changed forever.
Oh, yesterday came suddenly.
The bare arrangement, just McCartney's voice, acoustic guitar, and a delicate string quartet, makes every note feel intimate and personal. Even weirder, John Lennon loathed it. He called it Paul's boring ballad and vetoed including it on Rubber Soul. Yet its brevity, just over 2 minutes, belies the emotional weight, and its universal resonance has endured.
Love was such an easy game to play.
Holding the Guinness World Record as the most covered song ever, with over 2,200 versions, Yesterday remains a timeless testament to the power of raw honesty in music. Landslide, Fleetwood Mac, 1975. This is Stevie Nicks at her most introspective, standing in the Rocky Mountains and looking unflinchingly at the fear of change. Written in Aspen while contemplating both her uncertain future in music and her faltering relationship with Lindsey Buckingham. It's a quiet meditation on love, time, and identity. Remarkably, Stevie wrote it in just 1 hour, but the real Landslide hadn't hit yet. The gentle guitar and Nicks's vulnerable vocals carry the weight of the line, "I've been afraid of changing because I built my life around you," capturing the universal fear of stepping into the unknown.
Ocean tides, can I handle?
Decades later, in 1997 during the Dance Reunion tour, Buckingham mischievously changed the guitar solo mid-performance. Stevie stopped singing, glared at him, and walked off stage. That moment, raw, spontaneous, and unplanned, symbolized the very theme of the song, confronting fear and embracing change. Performing Landslide now still brings her to tears, a testament to its enduring power and poignancy.
But time makes you bolder.
You know what? Classic rock was never just about power chords and wild nights. It was about truth, raw, unfiltered, sometimes unbearable truth. These songs prove that even our heroes, these larger-than-life figures, felt heartbreak just as deeply as we do, maybe even deeper. Which of these beautiful disasters hits you the hardest? Which song makes you pull over on the highway because you can't see through the tears? Or maybe we missed one. Let me know which track holds your pain. Drop your pics in the comments below. And if you love diving deep into the soul of classic rock like this, hit that subscribe button and stick around here at WoodsRock. Until next time, keep feeling everything. Keep the music alive. And remember, it's okay to cry when Tears in Heaven comes on. It just means you're human.